Hello and welcome to Cartoon Drawing Studio. Today we're going to be drawing a pirate octopus. Arr, matey! Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate your support. Okay, so grab your materials and let's get started. Okay, we're going to be drawing this pirate octopus with tons of pirate personality. So the first thing we're going to start with, as usual, is the head. And we're going to start with this circle or sphere for the head. Now remember, at this phase you should be drawing as lightly as possible because we're just trying to find the shape of the octopus. Next, we're going to pull down this rectangle type shape that gets skinnier towards the bottom. So notice how I'm pulling this right down from the circle. This is essentially the octopus's torso. So this octopus is going to have a lot of arms. And like we do with our other drawings, I'm going to try to map these out first. I think it'll make it easier for you guys. So we're going to start with one tentacle right here. This is going to be the first tentacle. Notice how it loops here at the end, and I'm going to press a little bit harder so you guys can see better. That's going to be one tentacle. Here is going to be the next tentacle. Trying to think about the flow of the overall drawing. There's the next tentacle. All right, we're going to have another tentacle coming this way, like this. You guys can see that. Then we're going to have, so that's this one. We're going to have another tentacle coming. It's going to go behind this one. And then I want to finish with one more tentacle that's essentially back there. That's going to do this because that one's going to have a hook on the hand, and this one's going to have a peg leg. This one's going to be holding a sword. And I think we're good with the tentacles for now. We might get some more hidden in the back, but we have them mapped out with this shape. All right, and one more thing, the octopuses have this kind of mass that hangs out behind their head. So I'm doing that shape back here, like it's flopped down. Okay, it's like almost like the bean shape. Okay. All right, so this is essentially our first pass. Very simple character. Next, we're going to divide the face in half like this so we know where everything is going to go. His eyes in the middle of his face. So we're going to have one eye right here. So I'm drawing a circle or an oval for that one. And then we're going to have the next eye right there. So we've drawn two ovals for that. I'm going to go ahead and add the pupil right here. So we have the pupil. And now the octopus is not going to have a nose. But you know what? Let's get the eyebrows in here. The eyebrows for this character is going to be angry. So he's going to have this angry expression like this. All right. He's going to have, because he's a mean pirate. All right. It's going to come down and we're going to have him smiling. So this upper lip, the smile is going to come out and the upper lip is going to bend out and he's going to have a smile. So now that we've got this smile in here, I'm going to have this wrap around like the lip is protruding out of his body. Perfect. And I'm also going to go ahead and give him one tooth right here because he's a pirate octopus and, you know, I want him to have a tooth sticking out. All right, one more thing. He's going to have an eye patch. So the eye patch is going to wrap around his head and the patch is going to come down and essentially cover this eye. So that's all going to be blocked in eventually. So we've pretty much got his face and expression mapped in here. Next, we're gonna go ahead and draw out a pirate hat sitting on top of his head. So it's gonna wrap around the sphere of his head like this. And then the pirate hat is gonna have these two, one opening like this, and then it's gonna have another one on this side. These are like little horns of the pirate hat. And then I'm gonna have the whole thing have one more big shape like this at the top. Now yours can look different. There's many different ways to draw a pirate hat. But I wanted to go with a shape like this because if I divide that shape down the middle, I want him to have a pirate symbol right here, which is going to be a circle, the teeth protruding down. We have the two circles for the eyes, 1 and 2, and then we can have the crossbones right below it. 1 and 2 bones right there. Perfect. All right. And just to give the pirate hat a little bit more details, we can have this kind of like edge wrapping around it like this, like a yellow string that we're going to give him. And let's also think about some of these little, like it's broken, some tears that we're going to add right here because he's underwater and he's got this pirate hat. You know, it can't be perfect. It's got to have some tears because he's a tough pirate. And then one more thing, we're going to add a bandana right underneath it. So I have this bandana here that's going right underneath the hat. I drew another line like that. And then we're having the bandana end right here, which are these two mountains. And then the end of the strings right here, 1 and then 2 right there. Perfect. So you guys can see that. All right, great. So that's essentially the pirate octopus's face. Let's keep working our way down. So the body comes down like this, and let's start with this arm. The arms are really rectangles or cylinders that we're gonna, play with their shape. So they start thicker at the base of the body. So I'm starting thicker, and then they get thinner as it approaches the end of the tentacle. Now this one does a wraparound like this. So here's the front of it, of this hose or cylinder or whatever you want to call it. And it wraps around like this. This part is in the front, it wraps around and goes behind. And the reason is because we're going to add a sword here. So here's a cylinder on the inside. There's a cylinder that he's holding, or a rectangle. Here's a ball at the bottom for the sword. And then we're gonna, in the back part, add this other curve because essentially pirates had that to protect their hands when they were sword fighting. Now we're gonna do another rectangle here with these little balls at the end. And last but not least, we're gonna give him the blade. So it's gonna be up, I'm giving myself a guide right there. It's gonna curve like this and then end up down on this side. And one more thing is we're gonna do a little triangle right there, and that represents, like, the blade is broken from battle. So we're trying to think of these little details now to give this character personality and make him more believable. All right, so we got this arm done. Next is this arm. We're gonna start thicker at the base, just like the other one. Gonna wrap around and then get skinnier towards the end, right? Remember, we're sketching with pencil. We can do this multiple times. We can take our time until we find the shape that we're looking for. So, and remember, if yours doesn't look just like mine, that's totally fine, right? So we've got that tentacle. I'm gonna go ahead and get this tentacle now. Now for this tentacle, what I wanna do is here at the end, I'm going to give him a peg leg because he's a pirate, right? So here is a cylinder going down. This is where the leg is going to end. And he's going to have this wooden peg leg coming out of the bottom of his tentacle, right? So here it is. It's getting, this is the skinny part, and it's going to go around and get thicker at the end, just like we did with the other ones. Around and thicker at the end. Perfect. All right, we have another tentacle coming back here, and it's going behind that leg. So we're thinking about that, and maybe it ends up going up like this, you know, but that one is going behind this other leg. So we have this tentacle. And finally, we have one more tentacle coming out that we see from behind. And I want this tentacle at the very end to have a hook, a pirate hook. So it's going to have this ball at the end and kind of a Captain Hook type hook like that. Okay, good. All right. So we've got the octopus's arms. This one's in the front. We've got the peg leg. You know what? I think he could probably use one more arm right here to balance out this drawing a little bit, the figure. I'm going to go ahead and give him one more arm right here. This is an afterthought. So remember, you can play with the arms and the way you map it out with yours. Doesn't have to look exactly like mine, but I didn't like this gap here, so I'm gonna go ahead and add one more arm right here, and I feel like this is gonna be a little bit more balanced in the design. So, you know, keep in mind that at the end, I'm gonna erase all this because essentially all this is gonna be inked, but now I feel like the tentacles are a little bit more well designed and flow better. Okay, so he's got an extra tentacle right here. Perfect. And I think we got everything in there, except I'm going to add one more little detail with the pencil. And I think, just like a lot of pirates have tattoos, I'm going to go ahead and give him this, you know, tattoo right here of a pirate symbol. So we've got, that's going to be right there. He's got a tattoo, he's got his sword, he's got his hook, and he's got his peg leg. We've got all of our pirate things, and you know, also I'm gonna go ahead and sketch out these little spots because octopuses have spots on their body, cartoon little octopuses. And there's one more thing that I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take this leg for sure, for starters, and I'm dividing it in half because octopuses have these suckers at the bottom. So I want to get these suckers down here, at least in some of them, to show through. It's going to make it look a little bit more real. So that one has a sucker because that arm is kind of twisted. I'm going to put some of the suckers on this one, like they're showing through here. And these are just ovals after I've divided it in half. Maybe this leg here is twisted out, so I'm going to put a sucker here like that. Perfect. And maybe this one has it partially showing through on this end right there. And that's good. It shows that these legs, you know, are twisting around, and some of these, the bottom side is showing on those. So just don't forget, some of these legs can have that. And that's it. I'm going to stop right there with a pencil sketch. And now I'm going to grab my ink pen, and we're going to go through this and make the decisions on what final line works we want to keep. So I'm going to speed this part up and let you do yours at home while I ink my character. And there we have our completed octopus pirate. So now we're going to grab our eraser and we're going to remove the pencil marks. Now we can add a little bit of color, and that completes our pirate octopus drawing. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. Let me know what you think in the comments section below. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more drawing lessons. Please like and share the channel with your friends. I really appreciate your support. Okay guys, keep on drawing, and thanks for watching.